girl Jay, the High Priestess, back at it again with the dark side of this new moon in Sagittarius that we are having. Be sure to check out your sun, moon, and rising. Patreon is the only one with all the readings at this point. Well, not all of them at this exact moment. By the time you see this, anyway, patreon.com/justjeverything. For free content, check out my Instasham. All the links are in the description box below. I don't feel like going through the spiel, honestly. And it's interesting because the sign, Sagittarius, is the season and the sign of I understand, ruled by Jupiter. And I feel like the dark side, because that's what we do here around these parts, we're looking at the dark side of the new moon. The new moon is when the the moon is technically at its weakest. And there are blind spots. And so it's like this calling to dive into the blind spots of your understanding. And the whole thing about blind spots is a need for other people. And that's what shifted in Libra season, is this welcoming in, this shift. It's like you've done as much this year. It's like not as much as you can do, but there's a lot of the work a lot of the individual work has been done. And it's a new season. And I feel like there's this understanding by way of another understanding, by way of the other understanding, by way of new studies. This new moon feels very quiet. And I feel like that's where a lot of the understanding comes in, is giving yourself quiet time, giving yourself stillness. Because with Mars retrograde in Gemini, our relationship to our thoughts, I think Gemini being the shadow of Sagittarius, there's this shift in our motivation and our relationship to our actions versus thoughts. So before I get to shuffling, I gotta hit you with the handy dandy. This new moon is happening on November 23rd at 3:57 p.m. Mountain Time, 5:57 p.m. Eastern Time, and it's happening at 1 degree Sagittarius. Also, Jupiter is going direct a matter of minutes after this new moon is exact. Jupiter is going direct in Pisces at 28 degrees at 4:02. The new moon's at 3:57 p.m. Mountain. Jupiter goes direct at 4:02 p.m. Mountain. 6:02 p.m. Eastern. And there's these themes here with lucky versus blessed. And you having the opportunity to redefine your relationship to feeling lucky versus feeling blessed, and what the variations, because they're very different, and what that means for you. And when are either applicable in your life, and what does luck feel like versus blessings and being blessed. Where does that live in your body? Where do you feel luck versus where do you feel blessings? Only you can answer those questions for yourself. So like I said, this new moon happens at, I'm going to read both actually. This new moon happens at 1 degree Sagittarius. And Elias Lonsdale's interpretation of the first degree of Sagittarius is: a woman manacled in solid gold chains. Like manacled. Vividly attached to your own personal limitations, idiosyncrasies, and karmic block. Okay, hold on, before I even go on. So the new moon, new moons, this is the time of the season where we're planting seeds, where we're really trying to figure out what do we want to invest in, what do we want a yield on, what do you want a return on? It's like, what seeds do you want to plant? What harvest do you want to reap? And it's time for you to be really, really intentional about grasping the understanding from all of the different facets of conflict that have presented themselves in your life. Okay. A woman manacled in solid gold chains, vividly attached to your own personal limitations, idiosyncrasies, and karmic backlog. You are identified within the strict circle of familiar difficulties, dilemmas, issues, and problems. Habituated to a thick atmosphere of being surrounded and enveloped by all the places you have hung out forever. Immobilized in your will and truly feeling incapable of overthrowing the past. You feel chaotically fascinated by and deeply saturated in patterns, syndromes, and subconscious escapes. Yet in the fiery midst of this very enchantment, you can go free if you inwardly come to a place where all the old spells are no longer... Yet in the fiery midst of this very enchantment, you can go free if you inwardly come to a place where all the old spells no longer work and your resurgent spirit simply refuses to confound itself any further. Fuck. Fuck. Vividly attached to your own personal limitations, idiosyncrasies, and karmic backlog. You are identified within the strict circle of familiar difficulties, dilemmas, issues, and problems. And what this feels like is getting caught up in your own fucking narrative. It's giving Eight of Swords. It's giving, I have binds, I have restrictions that I am hyper aware of, that I am hyper aware of also my ability to break free of, but this feels like muscle memory. So I'm just, or this restriction feels, this confinement feels like home. So maybe I choose to stay there. That could be a way to look at it. That's how some of this feels. You feel chaotically fascinated by and deeply saturated in patterns, syndromes, and subconscious escapes. Very Seven of Cups. Chaotically fascinated. Which feels like ADHD. Chaotically fascinated by and deeply saturated in patterns, syndromes, and subconscious escapes. What are your patterns, syndromes, and subconscious escapes? The new moon in Sagittarius wants you evaluating that and wants you to give yourself a bird's eye view, wise guru level, access your higher self. And it's time for you to figure out how to do that. I can give you hints and tips, but no one's going to be able to navigate that maze for you. You have to access them. Yet in the fiery midst of this very enchantment, you can go free if you inwardly come to a place where all the old spells no longer work. What are the old spells on your life? What's going on? Why are you so in love with them? Are you opting out of them? Are you perpetuating and feeding their power? Are you perpetuating and feeding their old hold on you? And your resurgent spirit simply refuses to confound itself any further. All right, so that's the new moon energy. I want to read Jupiter direct, and part of me wants to do a separate video, but I have so much shit to do that I'm just going to put that in here because I feel. Damn it, I just saw Pisces. Hold on, here we go. Here we go, Pisces. 28 degrees Pisces. Jupiter is going direct. So this is within minutes. All right, Jupiter goes direct at 28 degrees Pisces. A horde of monkeys chattering. Possession by local spirits in mischievous, playful fashion. Cast into an abyss. Dumped out of status and specialness and made to be hyper-receptive to whatever is moving here. An abandoned center. Karmically sacrificed to learn both humility and the lessons of the street. Whew. The state of mind random, chaotic, inspirational, capricious, given to every kind of spirit passing through. Sorely troubled yet fantastically out of touch. A regressive loop with powerful emanations. The feeling is that something must be done and that this will require a change of heart. But you got to go deep. And it takes a whole lot of desperation to turn this one around. And then I just heard Rory's God's Whisperer. The line is, I am the Savior. But it takes a whole lot of desperation to turn this one around. And if anyone can do it, it's Jupiter, the benefic. Oof. Some of you are like worried about gossiping, worried about people like talking about you, worried about your reputation, worried about what people will say. Also, I feel like people are pointing out your patterns, pointing out your loops, especially in romance. You may be feeling some new feeling, and I've never felt this, and people are like, yeah, you have. Remember when this. And so that could be happening. People trying to like suck the magic out of your magical experiences. Dumped out of status and specialness and made to be hyper receptive to whatever is moving here. An abandoned center. Karmically sacrificed to learn both humility and the lessons of the street. My sink is running. All this water, all this like flowy energy that's happening. A regressive loop with powerful emanations. There are these loops. Yeah, it's just like the blind side of your understanding is what came through. And Sagittarius energy is all about philosophy, inspiration, travel, optimism. It's very blunt energy. It's also like higher learning. And there is this you gonna learn today kind of energy that's like tied into this. But I like how vast and how out of touch it feels for me right now. Like I can't pinpoint it. It's fucking Jupiter. And there's so many, and not that that's out of reach or aims to be out of reach or should be out of reach. It's just like this like awe. There's like this state of awe that I feel like that wants to come in. So the questions I want to ask are, I mean, this is a general reading, so take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Eat the meat, leave the bones. And I want to dive in for us. Hydrate, light it if you got it. As we welcome in our benevolent ancestors. Mother God, Father God, Mother Earth. Thanking you for the most useful, helpful, and divinely aligned messages for us for us as we explore the dark side of the new moon, Sagittarius, November 23rd, 2022. The first question that I wanted to ask is, what do we need to study more of? What do we need to increase our knowledge of? Wow. Well, the Nine of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune. What we need to study more of, I'm just going to shoot. There's emotional inventory. There's taking your hands off the wheel. Allowing yourself satisfaction, self-satisfaction, how to get self-made, how to become self-made, entrepreneurship. How to harness your willpower, how to tap into your willpower. What do you want to will? What do you need to study more of? The signs and wonders. I knew this fucking card was going to come out. I already saw it before I did this. This is so fucking wild. That's why my jaw dropped. What you're needing to study more of is the esoterica, alchemical symbols, alchemical processes. I also just heard Freemasonry. Some of you are maybe being called to, you know, occultism or really like diving deeper into the occult and astrology. Studying more of your relationship to, like, what do you believe in? Your relationship to seasons, your relationship to astrology, tarot. What you need to study more of, it has to do with like spiritual law, symbolism, dream analysis, studying the subconscious mind, studying the seasons, studying, I think I already said astrology, but studying yourself also with the Nine of Cups here. Studying how far you've come, diving deeper into your subconscious mind, diving deeper into the ending of your current emotional state, the ending of your current emotional cycle. You're needing to look at the last 9 months to 9 to 10 months, 9 to 10 years of how you've related to independence, sovereignty. It's time to study more of and acquire more and increase your knowledge of how to satisfy yourself, how to love yourself, how to fill your cup, how to become aware of your cycles and end those cycles. Also, you need, some of you, if you're newly dating or if you're like married to, or, you know, deeply committed to someone with Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, or Sagittarius placements, I feel like it is time to take a deeper interest in them, getting to know their cycles, their intricacies, their idiosyncrasies. But I also feel like if you're dating or interested or connected to those signs, You're being called to have a very, like a much deeper sense of self. What makes you proud of yourself? What do you want to accomplish? What do you want to be known for? How do you want to sustain yourself? How do you want to enter this next chapter in your life? It's time to study your cycles, your habits, your seasons, and how to experience expansion, how to spread your wings, how to get out of your comfort zone, how to get out of your, you know, the binding part of overthinking. It's like, there's nothing wrong with being in your head. It's the overthinking. It's the like ripping things apart or overthinking it to a pulp. Next question, how to increase happiness or optimism. Sagittarius is the eternal optimist. And so there is something here about having easier access to just like upbeat, happy-go-lucky vibes. And so for those watching, what are the steps that need to be taken, or what's the advice to increase happiness? High Priestess reversed. Interesting. I feel like stop trying to dissect everything. Stop trying to see so much beyond the veil versus letting the divine lead you to the profound aha moments. Letting yourself just be living in life and experiencing the magic in the midst of the mundane, versus trying to like overanalyze and pick apart and like stay quiet and be in, you know, whatever. It's just like, also get out of a place of inactivity. If it's time to get more in the mix. You can be spiritual and social at the same time. You can be like with the shit and like, you know, hip and still conscious. I feel like it's a time for like how to increase happiness, how to increase optimism is maybe not, or taking a break from studying, taking a break from being so serious. What's contributing to that need to be serious? Is there a discomfort with play, with lightness, with keeping things on, you know, a superficial plane? So I feel like there needs to be a healthier balance of adventure, and you just not thinking or plotting or dissect or pathologizing, or, you know, like it's time for some adventure. And so, where are the blind spots? This is a general reading, so eat the meat, leave the bones. Where are our blind spots? Three of Cups reversed. For some of us, our blind spots can be in the company that we're keeping in our friend group. The blind spots can be in escapism, out like drinking too much, smoking too much. The Hierophant. Especially if you have Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, Taurus, Libra placements, especially if you're in school. For some of you, the blind spot is like you have like a next level to get to, but there are people that maybe you're dating or people that you're hanging around so much that are just keeping you at a level that how do I say this? Like you're not meant to be at. Some of you, there are just like profound lessons that need to be learned. For some of you, where your blind spots are your family, are your traditions, are your morals. Some of you like watching Fox News, or, like hanging around people who entertain that. This could be like family stuff. There could be blind spots in like your values versus your family's values. For some of you, the blind spot is religion. Maybe even a lack of curiosity. I feel like also could be a blind spot. Some of you are just like blindly like do as told. Or there's someone in your life who, you just like blindly like trust and listen to and have faith in, which that's beautiful. But there is something, we're talking about blind spots. Your blind spots could be some of you, it could be dogma. Residual dogma. For some of you, it can be, this it even could be trauma, religious trauma, repressed emotions in regards to like religion. Please clarify the Hierophant. I also feel like some of your blind spots are in like your sexuality or in like root chakra like vibes, like survival instincts, fight or flight stuff. There may have been betrayals from people at school, in the church, at in the family, feeling like something was taken from you, feeling taken advantage of. This even could be with like tithing, or like this. I say a lot of you, but it may be people you know. There could just be please continue to clarify the Hierophant. There's just something here about like turning breakthroughs into betrayals, experiencing breakthroughs, or breaking away from family. Or breaking away from like old outdated values or beliefs. Nothing flipped over. I also feel like some of you, like this is a shift in your your blind spot may be in your marriage. It may be in a commitment in regards to like marriage or in regards to commitment. Okay. The blind spots are some of you you're not seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. You're not realizing how much closer you are to like finally acquiring victory over all of this pain that's happened. This is a lot of pain, boo. And I'm telling you now, there's an end of an era that we are like bracing for. Everybody feels it. I feel like everybody feels has felt the turning of the wheel. That's why everybody's like bracing for impact, because there is this like leveling up, this graduation, this Ace of Pentacles, this new chapter, this influx of new in our physical 3D reality. And I feel like everybody's like, oh, I don't know what's happening. I feel like this is happening on a governmental level. This is happening on, societal level, on an evolutionary level. And it just feels like this looks like Sagittarius season to me. Finally, you understand, like the hindsight of this starts to come in. The alleviation, the relief, the moving forward from this finally gets to come in. And there will be a brand new chapter in the realm of your mind that really starts impacting the brand new chapter in the realm of what you see with your physical eyes in your day-to-day life. All right, so last question I want to ask, what don't we see coming? With this being the dark moon, the moon is the light of the moon, the light of our ability to really sort through our own emotions. I feel like is at the weakest. I feel like we're just the most susceptible, the most sensitive. What don't we see coming from this new moon in Sagittarius? Page of Swords, the Judgment, the Moon, and the Two of Cups. Wow, Two of Cups. On the bottom of the deck, Seven of Pentacles, and the Star. What we don't see coming is that this understanding is very much so going to tie us in and call us into our purpose. It's going to force us to be deeply, deeply honest about what we value, what we don't value, who we are, and what aspect of ourselves is like about to be on display, especially because new love is coming in, new connections are coming in, and we are being required. Also, it's just like there's divine partnership has been coming up heavily in the collective. I'm not the only reader that's picking it up. It's in the readers that I, follow, or even like coming like, hey, well, there's all of this romance, love shit is coming up and nobody's ready for it. Like everybody's like, well, I don't know. I'm just getting my shit together. And Divine's like, yeah, you got it together. Okay, now it's time to like link up. We about to do this shit. We trying to ascend or nah? You trying to ascend or nah? Because there's this like hard, fast, governing, like this like investment that's needed, and it's time to invest in you falling in love with the process of filling your own cup, having your own life, so that you can show up to the dating pool, friend pool, professional pool, healed, autonomous, confident, aware, with the audacity to like hold out for someone else who has done the same, and hold out for like equal fair exchange, just goodness, and like wish fulfillment. We are being divinely guided to exactly what we want. We just have to be patient, and we also have to take responsibility for what is ours to take responsibility of, and understand that we're worthy of all the things that we're wishing for, which is why the wish is within you. It's just on the other side of some work. Hello, Saturn. And that's law. That's just science. And what you don't see coming is a profound renewal of your mind. A new relationship to truth, and a new relationship and a new confidence and ability to speak it. I love you. The truth is going to do way more than set you free. But there's so many different facets of free that you're getting ready to encounter. So I'm really excited for you. I love you. You got this.